You're killing me, Smalls.
We making movies, no accident. I'm fucking Instagram action shit. UPS shipping and packaging. I'm smoking weed out them packages. If I ain't got a gun, I'm stabbing it. I got some leftover lean in the cabinet. I can hit your little hoe when she average. Poke on that pussy just like it's a top of it. We making movies, no accident. I'm fucking Instagram action shit. UPS doing the packaging. I'm smoking good ass weed out them packages. I can't lie, cause I ain't capping.
Welcome back to the D-Day podcast. It's your boy D.
It's your boy Antonio. Let's get to it.
This week we're going to do a little spin-off of our Black Blasphemy. We've gotten positive reviews from it. And so we chose today to be movie blasphemies. It could be black movies or movies in general. Just some thoughts of ours that we think are controversial in the movie world.
It's our hot takes on how we feel about the movie industry.
And if y'all like this one, we'll start doing a little bit more, music blasphemies, anime blasphemies. Damn, that would have been a good one. But
I mean, that could be the next one. Let us know if you want to see it.
So you want to get started or me?
So I'm going to let you go first.
I'm going to start small. Niggas need to stop doing biopics and start motherfucking making biographies if you want to know some shit about somebody. And that goes for all of them. The Jackson American Dream, which was good. Crappy Aaliyah movie, crappy Tupac movie, Notorious, okay. Like, nigga, y'all niggas need a biography. If it'd be like, I'm not going to pay attention, well, you don't like that nigga enough. Because all them shits are trash in their own way. Because, like, there is some edited stuff for movie, for TV. Which, if there's one thing that's edited for, to make it more a biography movie, like, the ones where it has actual clips from whatever.
Okay, so
people
you want
speak.
like a documentary style
That's
biography.
Like, that's the only thing that does people true justice. And outside of that, no, get rid of it.
This is a take I wouldn't have seen you take. Like, I wouldn't have seen you lean this hard into it and ride hard on that like this.
Because, like, three things. One, if I see a biopic on nobody I know, shit, I'm taking over. In fact, I saw the Queen one. It was pretty good. All that shit could have been a lot. I don't know shit about Freddie Mercury. It was a good movie. But I'm being dead ass. But if you know the stuff, and when it's done wrong, it's basically...
It's like, it's kind of a slap in the face in your intelligence. And like, do you actually know the people you're going to support or whatever?
Or are you just trying to do a cash grab on the name? Because the alternative, like, I guess the counter approach to it, which is much better, is when people complain about the books not matching the whatever. But when it's all fake, I don't care. Like, I really don't care if, Batman's colorway swaps a little bit. Like, it's the blue one or the black one or this and that. The nigga fake. Like, all that shit's fake. You can't decide you don't like something about a person's life, then overlook it. Like, you just can't. A good way, if you want to do, well, we're dealing with famous people. I'll say a good way, if you want to show some events or tell a narrative, is like Paid in Full. I brought that up a lot, but like, Paid in Full is based on a true story, but it doesn't say it because it's just they wanted to get the point across of the first drug dealers, what it was sort of like. But that's why they switched their names because they knew that they were going to edit some stuff for movie purposes. So like, it's cool. Like, most people don't know it's based on a true story. That damn, the
I
people in
didn't
the
know for
movie,
a long time. Yeah.
people in the movie still alive. And so like, if you want to go that route, then do that. But you can't make a Tupac movie and call that bitch, I don't know, Juice. You can't, Juice, the movie, will highlight Tupac Shakur's life. Like, that doesn't work. So just do a documentary style and just make it, because you get all the information. I think it's better to see the real authentic clips. You don't have to worry about if the nigga look like them, and then getting the person to look like them, can they actually act or sing? Which is typically no. Like, what's the chances of you being able to find somebody who looks exactly like a famous person who does something, and he does it just as well? Nigga should have been famous then. And so, yeah, I think all biopics should be nixed, and
That's not an awful take.
Most,
It's really principled in how you took it. Like I didn't see you dying on this hill.
most people will kick back at it with the ones that are actually good. Like Jackson American Dream is good. Queen One is good. Couple of them are good, but like, oh no, I hate false narratives.
Mm.
And that's what these movies push. Do you know that I just figured out a year ago that the 5 heartbeats aren't real?
Well, that's based on that's like
It's like the paid in full.
It's like paid
Yeah.
in full. It's based on the Temptations.
They're not even based on it. They're based on somebody, but it's not the Temptations.
That's based on the Temptations.
But I thought the 5 heartbeats was niggas. There's debates online about 5 heartbeats versus Temptations. Them niggas ain't real. But like, I'm being dead ass. I did not know they weren't real.
Yeah. I mean, that's like Dream Girls. You know what I'm saying?
They weren't real. Told you, it's not that I don't. It's my mode of it's telling a narrative.
It's based in that era of music, the Motown era of music, and how I do think it was based. They are based on a group.
The Supremes.
I think so, but it's not the Supreme story.
And it makes sense why those 2 movies that's listed are like some of the best movies, because they're not grounded by, following people's lives.
And I don't think, especially when you're doing a biopic of someone who doesn't have a whole bunch of clips, like we'll take Tupac, right? Tupac has plenty of interviews and clips that you could put together a good documentary, but like, you wouldn't be able to do that with certain people. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't think of it off the top of my head, but
Would you say Malcolm X?
yeah, I think Malcolm X is like, you don't have a lot. Like, Malcolm X did interviews, and he has a lot of interviews out there. But can you put together a movie around his life with just the interviews and just the clips that we have?
That is true.
So I think past a certain point, you have to do it a certain way. And the Malcolm X movie wasn't a bad movie.
No,
And it was pretty accurate.
The bitch was fire, but most niggas don't know that. Most niggas don't know what the real Malcolm X look like.
Mm. Yeah, because I always think of Denzel first.
There was this thing on Twitter where a guy posted one, and I know he was being funny, but people dead ass thought that was Malcolm X. And what he did was he took the color away. He made it a black and white photo of the Denzel one, and people could not tell the. Man, I'm not saying that Denzel didn't look almost smack like him, but there's a difference when you know what the real fucking Malcolm X look like.
Malcolm X, I kind of live with my cousin,
but like, it's small stuff like that. I saw somewhere where a nigga got Malcolm X tattooed on him.
and
It was the Denzel one. And maybe this clash with my core principle of you can't save stupid people, but it damn sure ain't helping when you mix fact with some fiction.
Yeah, I mean, but that, if you think about it, like, that's the whole American history education system. It's a whole bunch of facts mixed with fiction.
Yeah, they good with that. John Wayne, all the damn cowboy movies back then that depicted them as
Fun fact, like, a third of the cowboys were black. You don't see that shit.
and them niggas was kind of the invaders.
They were the bad guys.
I guess the natives were attacking them, but
when you run up on my shit, for all the people who are like, the natives were, raping and pillaging and coming in and killing whole towns or whatever. Y'all niggas were running in their house. You expect them to not shoot you?
bro,
If I ran in your house right now, would you shoot me or not?
in layman terms, was they were just getting their lick back. No, that's it.
They were getting it back in blood. They were on that shicey shit. You feel me?
Like, that's dead ass. Damn, y'all came wiped out half our tribe. Well, we about to come do some damage our damn selves. And so, like, it is, once again, some people can't believe these kind of things. It's like, I've seen it plenty of times, and it's been lies each time. Or like we talked about it off camera. like Egyptians for so long being white. They're not white. Like, but some people can't like imagine that not being true.
But even the Egyptians that live in Egypt now are not the Egyptians that lived in Egypt when the pyramids were built. Those are not the same group of people.
You feel me? Because some people can just move there and procreate.
They were like, Egypt was literally taken over by Muslims. So the whole population of Egypt now are from the Middle East. They are not the original group of Egyptians.
Mm-hmm.
So you gotta go to Ethiopia, which is the next closest black country. Those are your peoples that were in Egypt.
And that goes with my that fits my narrative of false information being spread. So yeah, I stand on that point. I know it's gonna rub some people the wrong way, but like most things I say, I don't give a damn.
All right. For my first blasphemy, Quentin Tarantino is not that good of a director.
That nigga suck. If I would have remembered his name, he'd been on mine.
And I like quite a bit of Quentin Tarantino's work. I like Kill Bill. I like Django. I like
You named the only two things that I like. I hate Pulp Fiction. I hate it.
Pulp Fiction is mid at best. That's another hot take. Some people would fucking fight me over that.
And Quentin Tarantino's resume, it's like, I don't know, Quentin Tarantino's like the producer, Adam Sandler. Adam Sandler produces his own shit. What I'm saying is get paid to do a bunch of bullshit. He's doing the same bullshit each time. The thing that people argue with Adam Sandler, he gets paid a bunch of money to do the same bullshit.
And I just feel like a lot of his movies just feel like he did a lot of coke and then wrote them. You feel me? Like he was just on a fucking binge and just wrote a movie.
And I just feel like they're movies. And what I hate most is like, oh, you need to understand this and do that. I understand it. And shit's up. I understand everything about Pulp Fiction. I understand, it's cutting out time significance and character development, this and that. Damn, I think I liked it more when I didn't understand them things.
Yeah. I just feel like Django is like probably his best work ever. And not because it's a black movie, just because it's...
I think the actors rose it up.
Yes. First of all, Jamie Foxx. Probably the most talented human being on the face of the planet, let's be honest. That's your lead. The German guy. I can't remember what his name was.
I can't think of his name.
Leonardo, which he completely put himself into that role and it was guilty about it for months after.
I would have spit on him on set. He was so good.
had to fucking fly his tires out. You feel me? On principle.
Samuel L's performance was like
the
probably one of his
all
best.
Coons, and it was great.
Like Samuel L. was actually playing something besides Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah.
In years. I think since the 2000s. Like in the 90s, he was actually playing roles. But since 2000, it's pretty much been Samuel
he plays himself.
Cosplaying as himself. Because if you think about it.
That's just like Morgan Freeman. Morgan Freeman plays himself as himself.
He's either God or the narrator, which, if you think about it, the narrator's God. Like, even if it's just a National Geographic, when you're narrating over something, isn't that God in a way? Like, that's what he does great. But, yes, I think Django's so much of an exception that when you put all Tarantino movies together, it's like, doesn't make sense as a Tarantino movie. And sometimes I forget Django is.
Yeah. So we agree on our first two takes. So I don't know how this is gonna go.
Well, I'm a spin-off of that one. Leonardo Dicaprio is overrated as fuck, and this goes for every single movie. Now there's some diamonds in there, but this notion,
Blood Diamond is not one of them.
Titanic is not one either. Like,
old movie heads are gonna fucking kill you for that.
Like all that shit, all this He garnered so much sympathy. He only has one Oscar or Emmy, or whatever. I think it's an Oscar. He only has one. There's a reason why he has one. He's never been the best at a given point. Tom Hanks smashes him. Depending on what time period Will Smith has smashed him out. Will Smith's time period is only like 97 to 2001, but he screwed there. There's just other people that, like, there's a reason he has one. He's not that good compared to others. In a bubble with people like him, well, this is great. I did this at college. I was working IT and we looked it up. Like, every time he, quote unquote, got snubbed for Oscar, well, that movie was fire.
Yeah, the movie that he lost to was a good movie. So he never got snubbed, and it was like, oh, you deserved it. And you in a different year, you would have won it. Possibly.
Yeah. Because, like, I forget what movie was out then. Maybe it's the Titanic, I don't know, time period. But it went up against Forrest Gump. Man, Forrest Gump smashes that catalog alone. Like, there's not a Leonardo Dicaprio movie that I say rivals Forrest Gump. Django's performance, like that Django performance, makes me like, I don't think he's a trash actor.
But he wouldn't even have it. Wouldn't be in the same category because you're not the main.
Mm-hmm.
You're not the lead.
And I don't think he's bad. I just think he's overrated. Mm-hmm. And it's like, I tried it. If I see Leonardo DiCaprio the lead, it doesn't move me whatsoever.
He's also a fucking creep.
I don't know too much about him, but he looks like it.
He only dates women under 25. And once they turn 25, he breaks up with them.
That nigga's damn near a pedophile. He is a pedophile. I hate when people be like,
fucking weird.
He's like 50 now, so like...
He's like 48. But, yes.
The motherfucker like his women so young that they were children when he was in his prime.
Yes.
Like, that's dead ass the case.
Another hot take. Tobey Maguire hangs out with DiCaprio quite a lot. Like, they are boys. Like, boys.
It's always weird when a old nigga run behind a young nigga.
No, they're the same age.
Man, that white don't crack on Tobey Maguire.
They are in the same age range.
I tell you, I thought Tobey Maguire was like 37.
No. Tobey Maguire is at least 45.
Damn, he was old playing that Spider-Man. That nigga look like a... Yeah. He's a perpetual nerd.
But that's why he did not want to go back and do Amazing Spider-Man and reboot it.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm be back in high school again? Like, what the fuck are we talking about here?
Hey, bro.
I'm 36. Like,
it's not my fault when you shave off that mustache. You look like a nigga that got beat up in 11th grade.
But, yeah, him and Tobey Maguire are tight. It's him, Tobey Maguire, or somebody else. But, like, they're all kind of fucking creeps.
Mm-hmm. I did not know that. Also,
it makes you like Tobey Maguire less, huh?
I didn't really like him. I only like him in Spider-Man.
Yeah, true.
I think he was in Kingsman. I think there's one. I think
he was in Kingsman.
Then it was it Wolf of Wall Street?
No, that was Leonardo DiCaprio.
And then I'm not saying I liked it, but
Wolf of Wall Street wasn't a bad movie.
What the fuck was he in? Then he was in the movie based off that book, and it's gonna piss me off.
You don't know it?
It's the one. It's the book you always read in high school.
There's a lot of books I read in high school.
Let's skip this. This is gonna piss me off.
Here, go find it now.
Do you feel me? Continue making your points while I look at the camera on my phone simultaneously.
All right.
Yeah, it took too long. Great Gatsby.
Oh, he did play in that movie. But Leonardo DiCaprio was in that movie.
That's why I was like, oh yeah. That's the only other movie I ever seen. I
actually did not read that book in high school. My sister did. I didn't have to read it.
We were supposed to read it. I didn't read it. But that's back when I was playing football. What fucking time did I have to bang out this book? And I was concussed every other week, bro. It was hard for me to spell my name at some points. And you want me to slug through a motherfucking book in my 3 hours I have to myself?
Oh, man. That's funny. Like I said, this one might get me canceled. This is kind of a really hot take. I think, although I do not think it's a bad thing on its face, I think the extreme inclusivity of movies right now is bad.
It's trash. I agree with you.
Like, I think, like, I have no problem with changing the race of a character, like, on its face. But like, when you do it just to do it, and not because the actor is a better actor than the other person who went for the role, it's a problem. Like, this is something that's going on right now. The Little Mermaid, Chloe's playing
Hallie.
Hallie's playing playing Ariel. The director literally said, "I wanted her from the jump. I think she's the best person for the role. That's why I chose her." And Hallie can fucking sing. And if you watch that trailer, you know she's playing the fuck out of the Ariel.
You don't even need to watch no damn trailer. If you take up fucking 10 minutes of your time to Google Chloe X Hallie, or I don't know if it's called just Chloe and Hallie, Hunter Hunter, done made me change on what the fuck is supposed to be called.
It's Chloe X Hallie.
Well, if you just take 10 minutes to listen to him sing, you know that she can just fucking sing from the get-go. But she loves the movies. When people love stuff and get a chance to do it, they normally knock it out the park anyway. So,
and I think she was the best fit for that role. But that's to say, I think like making your character like LGBTQ or doing this, doing that, it's like, ugh.
I think it strikes a problem because it's like, why switch a character instead of just making a new one?
Yeah, like that's the point I was about to make. It's like, it would be better if you just wrote characters as new characters. Just instead of taking, it's like, oh, we're gonna make King Arthur a gay guy. Like, let's just make a new character, put it into a setting, and he happens to be gay. Like,
I think that strikes. This is going to circle off. This has nothing to do with movies in general. This circles to people's insecurity of them not being who they think they are. It's easy to say, let's be all inclusive. I don't say that shit, so it's easy for me to say stuff like this. But like, the reason why nobody would make a spinoff of, like, not saying that he wouldn't, the reason why their fear of like, oh, like a gay King Arthur basically, but different name and everything. People might think that should have flopped because it doesn't move them that it's a gay lead. But where we're so woke, where we're so accepting, why would it flop? Why can't it have credence on its own? It's kind
of like, my thing is like, they can be gay or whatever, but it doesn't have to be their whole character. That's another thing. It's like, I feel like when movies come out nowadays, like, they make their otherness their driving force in their character. And it's like, yes, can it be a part of their character development? Sure. Can it be a part of their growth as a person in this role? Sure. But like, when it's the only thing that makes them interesting, what does really drive me to watch this fucking movie?
You're supposed to support. Like, that's the bullshit. And like, that's the surface layer thing. Like, I don't support shit that I don't want to. If something's gay, I'm not supporting that shit just because it's gay. Like, you're not going to.
Is the story fucking good? How about we write a good story first?
Yeah, but you're not going to shame me into watching it. Like, oh, you didn't see it because it was gay. You didn't see it because it was interesting.
Like, and you brought up the Queen biopic. I have yet to watch it. And Freddie Mercury was notoriously gay.
I didn't actually know that. Caught me off guard when I seen it.
You can look at him,
bro. It leads credence to that beard combo. People always say that. Bro, dead ass, bro. I thought that was the coolest. You still think it's the coolest shit on a white guy or a guy that can grow. Oh yeah, I've seen too many instances where people have that in their gay. Like, I guess that is like the look.
Yeah, but
I'm gonna piggyback off what you said because for me, if it's marketed because of X, I won't ever give it a chance. Like, I'm not gonna hold you. Hallie I really like, and I think she'll do a great job. But I'm not gonna hold you. It goes back and forth to me. Was she the right one because she was black? If she was white, would she have not been the right one? Because it's so heavenly, like it's so like I guess we know what the Little Mermaid is, but like most of what we know is, oh yeah, I got a black Ariel. Can't you show a little bit more clips? Can you?
Well, it's just like exiting post production now, so it's kind of this is the time where they will show more clips. But
I think the snub of a role is what gets me. It's like Lizzo didn't get the villain. I fell asleep through the Little Mermaid, so I don't know the nigga's name.
Ursula.
Yeah, they gave it to Molly for Mike and Molly. She's been around, big girl who gets all big girl fall down roles.
I gotta look Molly for Mike and Molly.
But it is no. She's a good actress, but it's no way you can't tell me Lizzo was not meant to be Ursula.
Oh, Lizzo would have been amazing. Ursula.
Lizzo has, like, I guess every little girl dreams of being a Disney princess. Years before production, Lizzo was begging for a live-action Little Mermaid just to be Ursula.
Oh. I can kind of see...
I don't think she'll be bad, but...
I can kind of see her playing Ursula, though.
She looks like that.
She Now, I think Lizzo would have gave a better performance vocally.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't know how well she can sing, so
and that
maybe she could fucking blow.
If she comes out and sings, this makes my point. But if the singing is something to be questioned,
yeah, Lizzo.
Were you really getting the best people for it then?
Yeah, but
but like
the circle back to what you were saying though, like with the choosing of the best person, they not interviewed. I'm sorry looking for.
Casting.
Well,
casting call. Open
yeah,
call.
they did multiple people.
Mm.
Chloe was just one of them. The director knew that he wanted Chloe to begin with, but
okay,
he tried other people too, and he was like, "Nah, my first choice was right."
Makes sense. I was about to say a good example for me that they didn't use, black people being casted. The Batman movie. Maybe I didn't see reviews, but I did not know that most of them was going to be black. Like Lucius,
Commissioner Gordon.
Yeah, well, yeah, Commissioner Gordon. Yeah. We knew Catwoman was going to be black because she was revealed beforehand.
Yeah,
but it was a lot more than I thought. But they didn't overly do. I did not know it, so they didn't just be like, oh, boom, here's the commissioner. He black. Most of the focus was on Robin Pattinson being Batman. All that was just the cake on top of it, and the icing on top of it, and they killed it. The niggas did a great performance.
And I'm not saying that you should not cast black people for traditionally white roles. That's not what I was saying.
Yeah, for facts.
It is just choose the right person for the role.
Don't do it for a cash grab. People are doing it now. Oh, boom, they're black. We still got it. There's only black person in here. So you're telling me only one black person was right for this movie? Or when somebody brought this up, and this is the God's honest truth, I'm sick of seeing friend groups with one of every race plus the gay guy. What friend group is like that?
typically you have a majority one race, and then you might have a token, and there's only one token in there.
And then somebody from the other race would possibly be gay, possibly. But you're not going to have one black guy, one Indian, one Muslim, one Mexican. Then you have a gay Chinese guy. What fucking group do you know of that?
What is this, a stock photo? What the fuck is this?
Are y'all doing this for textbooks?
It's insane.
And that's to your point. It's I'm not going to hold you. This is not even because I watch it. I was never mad that Friends was all white people. Because I prefer most of my black shows not to have white people.
But my only problem with Friends was that there's not a single black person as a supporting character.
That's the huge problem. My problem is that it's overrated. My problem is that people love it. Secretly, I love it because ain't no black people that shit. But in black people, I've had white people tell me they watch hood movies. Shit, hey, all the white people are either cops or assholes. Yeah, I love that shit. That's why I am not mad. Like white people move. Like that's just what it is sometimes. But I hate when it's on the reverse. It's like we can't just have black people. We need to be inclusive. Did you see that shit that they just put out? Include my ass. But yeah, like doing inclusive. Basically, you're doing it as a marketing scheme.
And like, especially like historical pieces, not so much like fantasy historical pieces because that shit doesn't fucking matter. But like, I saw like it was a King Arthur movie that came out, somewhat recently. I think high school. It's been a fucking while, but
I think it was called Arthur.
Arthur, yeah. And one of the guys is black in it, and I'm just like, not saying that black people couldn't be there, it wouldn't have been there in that time period. We were kind of everywhere. But let's be honest. This is set in Middle Ages England. It would have been a whole bunch of white niggas. It's okay. It's okay to cast a bunch of white people. It's okay.
And yeah, like people are just scared to do. If it's right, it's right. Historically, that's right.
and that's what I just said. If fantasy doesn't matter, but like, yes, that's fantasy, but at the same time, like, it's like historical fantasy. Like it's magic, but it's still set in a certain time period.
True. And like you got to use discretion. I don't know how people don't know discretion. So what about anime stuff? Make them Chinese and Japanese. Make the motherfuckers Japanese. I thought it didn't matter because it was fantasy. Use discretion, motherfucker.
And like, but even in anime, you can have a black character in an anime. That's fine. Yeah, you can have other races in it. You can have a white guy. You can have.
Oh yeah, for supporting it. But I'm just talking like if the person was like, "So you want Goku to be black, preferably Japanese?"
Yeah, I want him to be Asian. Like, what are we talking about here?
But if it's something like Star Wars, do them niggas even really have gender? I mean, race? Like race, like that, bro.
But it's very clear that they do. But like, it would even make sense because you're all on different fucking planets.
You okay?
If you another thing, every white person on Tatooine should be dark as fuck. Why are they so fucking pale? What's going on here? They got 2 sons. What's going on here?
Bro, you feel me? It never goes dark on that bitch. But like, they're okay with having a Wookiee. The Wookiee being a Wookiee, ain't no problem. like
I'm just saying Anakin Skywalker should have been a black guy.
The way that nigga acted, he had white people energy, so I'm okay with it. that nigga got mad and made it other people's problems. So
got mad overthrew a whole fucking government
because his wife died. Like, bro, my family was murdered last week. I'm getting by. I'm getting by one step at a time. I ain't gonna kill a bunch of fucking kids and overthrow some shit.
Just murdered a fucking kid.
Your wife died. My wife died, so I knocked off 20 of these niggas not even above the age of 5. They were in daycare, basically.
Fucking wild. All right.
That made me think of something else, but I'm gonna get on to my point. I've saved the best for last. This ain't one of the best. But how I said Leonardo Dicaprio movies are overrated, I can respect the fact that I think he's a good actor. Mm-hmm. Just I think it's overblown. Mm-hmm. Can't say the same for this. Jim Carrey is not funny for shit. And that's on my mother. He's not.
Really? You don't like Jim Carrey?
I don't do that. I don't do that little schizophrenic all over the place, damn Three Stooge bullshit. I don't do that shit. Nothing about that is funny. Nothing in Dumb and Dumber is funny to me. Nothing in Dumb and Dumber 2. Nothing in X, Y, and Z. I liked him as Dr. Eggman and Sonic, but I think I would have liked the character better if it wasn't him. Like, The Mask, I don't like The Mask. I try to watch and my face might crack a little bit, but it ain't shit that I need to see again.
Wow.
Nothing about that nigga is funny to me.
Really?
Like, I give him no metrics. I'm talking like you can get the trashiest B level supporting character. I might say I like that nigga more. I don't.
You didn't like Bruce Almighty?
Nope. It just doesn't. As soon as I see him, my brain already registers that he's about to do a whole bunch of physical comedy all over the place shit that I just don't. And this goes to me personally. There's only one type of funny. Like, there's another type that niggas do. Bro, if you can't make niggas laugh with words alone, you're not funny. You can do all the little hand movements. You can sway back and forth. You can jig, you can jog. Not funny if you need to do that. If you need to do that, you're not funny. You're overcompensating for lack of skill.
I think this is a different kind of funny.
Hey, cooking frozen foods is a different form of cooking. Does that make me a chef?
That's not a good analogy.
It's a good. Well, and one nigga can do an art. I can make you laugh with words, bro.
But I think that there's I can't jive with you on this one. I think Jim Carrey fell off definitely. And it stopped being funny for me at a certain point. But like, there's something like mildly funny about Jim Carrey, just inherently, and he does say stuff that's actually funny.
Funny thing is, I like him as a person. He's a cool person. He says, I'm not saying this as a slight. He say the right things. He's on the right part of history. He's a good guy. I like him. Just don't find the nigga funny.
And I can't fault you for not liking him because you just don't like him. That's whatever. Whatever. We just have to disagree on this one. I don't even know what to say to you.
Have you rewatched any of the movies you liked and said that this is amazing, or are you just going based off of that you liked them in the past?
I've watched. Okay, I haven't rewatched them recently, so maybe my opinion would change if I rewatched them again. But like, I remember that I liked Bruce Almighty like a lot. Like I really fuck with that movie.
I'm about to say, it's like I'm not fronting you. It's like, oh, well, that's stupid. I just think, like, when I've said this to people, you don't like the MASH, you don't like this, watch it tomorrow and tell me you think it's as funny as it was. And some people would be like, well, I've seen it already, it's not funny. I watched Friday for like the fucking 202nd time 2 weeks ago and still laugh at that shit, and I see it coming. So no matter how much you watch it, it's going to take away from funny. If it's funny, it's funny. I just don't believe that people who said they like that old stuff like it. If you like it, I feel like nostalgia is trying to make you like it. I just don't think people will like it as much now as they did then.
All right. I got another hot take for you then. This is not the one I had already planned up, but so we're talking about actors that we don't think are that funny. Adam Sandler.
I can see why people don't like it.
Now, like a lot of people think that Adam Sandler is not funny now. Like everything, like they think that he fell off, which I kind of agree with. But if you go back and watch like Waterboy, there was a golf one,
Happy
Madison, all the other ones. Like was it funny? Yes. Is it like the best comedy movie I've ever seen in my life? No.
I agree with that, and I like Adam Sandler. I hate Adam Sandler when he's trying to act. I like his straight man shit, and that's what people hate the most. I like Click, Longest Yard. I like when he can. I don't know why. I like when he can't be bothered and make offhand jokes. Shit, I think my comedy kind of Adam Sandler. Like, I mean, what I say, kind of deadpan in delivery. Maybe I'm just funnier than Adam Sandler, but I get why people don't like Adam Sandler
for that.
I get why people don't like Adam Sandler. Lame. I like him. Here's a hot take to counter your hot take. You know that whole collective, a group of people called the Frat Pack? Mm-hmm. So it's like it's him, the big guy that died in Tommy Boy, David Spade, mm-hmm. Chris Rock, and all of them. And besides a few things here or there, I think Adam Sandler better and funnier than Chris Rock.
I was about to say that. Chris Rock is not that funny.
Now, everybody hates Chris is superior than everything that they all done.
Yes. But he's not in that show.
But like I've watched stand-ups, I've seen him do a bunch of
Yeah.
hosting. That motherfucker just ain't funny.
He's mid as hell. Mid as hell.
And so that's why I was going, I think Adam Sandler funnier. It's something, but you don't think Adam Sandler's the funniest. Shit, it shows what I think about Chris Rock.
I try to support black people the best I can. I don't think he's that funny.
I support
He's
him
not
off
that good.
I support him off the back that I like everybody hates Chris. And so he's a great B character. He's a great support character.
He's not a lead character for me.
Like in The Longest Yard, go figure, it's both of them. Never thought about Adam Sandler been doing movies with his friends all the way back.
Adam Sandler is the definition of if I'm coming up, you coming up with me.
I'm putting my niggas on, bro. But like Chris Rock's Caretaker is probably like one of my favorite roles from him. Because it's not too much. I think Longest Yard in general is not too much on one person. So it masks a lot of flaws.
Mm-hmm.
Of like, if it was just an Adam Sandler movie on him the whole time. Oh, Adam Sandler doing prison stuff. Maybe a bunch of gay jokes. But you mixed in a little bit of this and that.
A little bit of everything.
Yeah. So, yeah, like, I get it. I get why people don't think Adam Sandler funny. I get that he's been doing the same shit for damn near, it's a decade and a half. It's damn near 2 decades. But like with Uncut Gems, he proved that when he gives a shit,
Yeah.
I swear he did Uncut Gems just to say, I could have this bitch in a chokehold if that's what I choose to do. But I'm showing up to take the cash.
He's literally the kid that's the smartest in the class but falls asleep all the time. He's that kid.
If he was an athlete, that nigga's getting the highest paid contract the team suck. I mean, I could be a team player, but wouldn't make as much money. Like he does 2 things well. He does somehow securing the bag and helping his nigga secure the bag. Those are his 2 motives when he make a movie, and he's doing it.
That nigga's Odell.
Basically. Basically. So yeah, it's like, yeah. If it wasn't for Uncut Gems, it would water the argument because it's been so long. But I like Reign over Me. Most people either A, haven't watched it or don't like the movie. I actually don't know why people don't like the movie. But when Adam Sandler gives it down, he's up there. He's up there with top acting performances.
And a nigga can fucking ball on top of that.
He really can hoop. Like that nigga's Hall of Fame pickup ball artist.
He is number 1 in the 45 and over league.
Bro, I want to see that nigga in the big 3. Ice Cube missed out. I want to see if he got on the big 3. Now, they're former players, but if that nigga averaged like 3 points, shit, he hooping on. They're still former players. The nigga just a current actor. But, yeah, I guess if I had to vote, I would kind of agree with you that he wasn't always the funniest. It just works for me. I'm cognizant to know that I'm in a small minority because he keeps getting paid. As much as people hate him, somehow he keeps landing these big deals in these movies. Could be white privilege.
I think it's just his name, Adam Sandler. It brings people, like, even if you think like, man, he hasn't been on a good one, but maybe this is the one. And I like Waterboy.
It has quotables for me, but this is one of those movies loved as a kid. I don't think I can really sit through it.
I haven't rewatched it again as an adult, so maybe I wouldn't like it. But like as a kid, like I thought Waterboy was funny as fuck. But even looking through my nostalgia, like, oh, this is kind of like surface level comedy. Yeah,
it's surface level comedy. It's comedy that a damn 6-year-old can digest and find the full level of funny in it.
Mm-hmm.
Which, when you mature, this doesn't go any deeper.
But sometimes you need that kind of comedy. I don't always want to think when I laugh. Like I don't always want to have to digest this fucking. I don't want to have a Dave Chappelle special every time.
And sometimes, like their movies, sometimes you just want to take a girl out to a movie or take a date out to the movie. I'm just trying to get some laughs, get through this junk.
It's
it served its purpose. I got some laughs, and we got to part B of this date. I'm going to save my huge as one, of course, for the end. But I don't really have love for him, so I don't care. Mekhi Phifer should have as many Oscar wins as Leonardo DiCaprio.
So what?
Yep. So
Okay.
take that however you want it. Yes, the Mekhi Phifer had the fake dreads in 8 Mile. The Mekhi Phifer that was in I can't think of the other movies he was in the 90s where he was either always in high school or in college. He was whenever they needed a dark nigga in the movie, he was that nigga. Like it was him or if he was busy, they got Omar Epps. That was it. So yes, that nigga.
Yeah. Okay.
Because he has one performance that is iconic. And when we talk about this off, if you watched Paid in Full and actually watched it, boy, that nigga was acting his motherfucking ass off. Should have won an Oscar for it. Don't know what year it came out. Don't know what won the Oscar then. But like I went back and just looked at 3 of the scenes, like the iconic scenes of him. And it's like the whole movie itself was good. It's underrated. I say due to racism because it's a black hood movie and people just, oh, another black hood movie. But, white people rip that shit off every chance they get. But like his performance itself, like when you just look at it, like the scene when they're in the hospital and he was like, a nigga like me, I love the game. I love the hustle. Like he just started like, and the way he talked about it, discussed it. Maybe it's because a drug dealer from back home basically said the same shit to me. It was, I made my money. I could do whatever. I could quit the game. But would these niggas actually really love me? Like, and they can love people. Some people don't sell drugs. I didn't sell drugs and I got it. Some people just can't relate. But like that was top-notch acting. Or the one when he's in the car right before he dies. And he goes on that rant about, any nigga that looked at me wrong, any nigga that thought about this, and dude, they dead, B. But I need my little man's back. He didn't improvise, he wrote that. The scene was supposed to go that when Wood Harris stopped, he got out and didn't say anything. But he felt like the scene needed something. So that whole scene he wrote on his own the night prior and didn't. So I'm like, everything about it is top notch. I can already tell you beforehand, when I edit this and post to social media, I'm gonna have the clips, just the whatever, like, bro, they're great clips. They are on par with any other GOAT performance that you want to mention. Will I say that they beat them out? No, because there's a bunch of GOAT performances. Like, I bet you can pick some and it'd be like, oh, well, this is better. It's not by a lot. Like, I stand on this. If 100 is the best acting performance ever, Mekhi Phifer and Paid in Full is at least a 94. And I stamp that. So you tell me how many performances are 95 or better in acting. And, well, y'all know how I feel about Leonardo DiCaprio. So y'all know that I only felt like he deserved one. And so...
Revenant was a good movie. So to piggyback off of your Mekhi Phifer thing, and people say like you brought the scene like niggas let me love the game. If you're white, you can't relate to that. Think of it like Tom Brady throwing away his marriage for the game of football. Niggas like him love the game.
If Tom Brady quoted that movie, of course, added a Tom Brady thing to it, took out niggas. If he quoted it tomorrow, Sports Center would make that the greatest shit ever. It's like, oh, well, you've seen what they mean to Tom Brady. He's been doing this, something. You need to know what Mekhi Phifer been through. We know what he's been through, so we know where it comes from. Like, if any athlete was to say it, it would automatically be goated. If LeBron said it tomorrow, that bitch would be goated.
I mean, it was LeBron gonna be like 45 playing basketball, so his kid was getting there. But just for an idea for people to be able, if you cannot relate with that scene, think about Tom Brady. Think about the other people who played way past their prime.
It's that, and also like because at the end he was like he talked about all the stuff that he sold. Like, I sold this, I sold that. If niggas is feeling it, I can sell it. That's my gift from God. It's like, unless you really found what you're gifted at, Like, it might sound cheesy to somebody, like his gift is selling drugs. No, his gift is actually hustling.
His gift is sales.
Yeah, but he only knows to sell drugs. But like, that's some real shit. When you know, like that's my gift from God. When he said that's when I was hooked. Like, damn, I don't even know my gift from God. Like, I don't even know today what my gift from God is. But like, if you've seen some niggas actually sell, like niggas that actually sell. Like, I don't even know drug lords. So I feel like drug lords are next level. Like, that nigga was selling. The person who he was based off of, when he died, and he died at 25, they said he owned about 50 cars. He had, most of them were Saabs. Back then, them Saabs was like that. This is 86, all the newest shit. Like, he was like, I think they said he was making like 120K a week in 85. We got to get the time period right. 120K.
120K now is a lot of fucking money.
But if it's 85, that bitch is like $1 million, $2 million. Like, I don't know the exact equivalency, but that's what it is.
Probably $500,000. It's probably close to $500,000.
So, like, he was that rich. So, it's on. Oh, another scene, which I'm going to add. And it's one of the smaller ones that people forget. And it's kind of piggybacking off of two. His uncle, in real life, his uncle was a snake, was a junkie in the movie. And it was one where they were in the convenience store, and he went to go dap up the clerk, but then you saw this bum stick out his hand and just get burned, and he just started talking, and it's like, I know you don't take care of family, nigga. What family? Am I invisible to you, nigga? And so we at this point we don't know that that's his uncle, and his uncle was implying like something that I know you thought of money making Mitch, something I could smell money on you. It was something subtle. He pulled up his sleeve, showed off the Rolex and the chains. I'm broke, baby. And for some reason, I've never noticed that before. But like just the subtlety of flossing on him, saying that you're not going to get shit. Let me roll up my shit to show you. I ain't got it. What do you mean you done that? You just flashed the Rolex at me. Like, once again, there's layers that if I showed damn near anybody, they probably wouldn't have just... He's talking shit. He's saying, you ain't getting shit from me, nigga. I ain't got it for you. But in the last scene, so I can stop talking about it, is when the uncle's in his mom's apartment and he spazzes quickly. I was with a girl and showed it to her the first time, and she was like, wasn't that pretty OD? It was something. Unless you had somebody in your house that you truly disliked, or there was somebody around who you truly didn't want your people to be around. Like, it's something different when it's like at work and I'd be like, boom, you don't want to fuck with Buddy. Buddy's something. Like, you know, Buddy on some other shit, I wouldn't fuck with him. But when they in your crib, like, it does some next level shit to you. Like, he did heat up fast. He was, what the fuck you doing here? Do you live here? I don't think so. Do you pay bills here? I don't think so. Like it does heat up that fast because, like, what the fuck you doing here? When I don't want you here.
And it's established I don't fucking like you.
You're right after you come talking to me like I fuck with you, when just before I didn't even dap your crazy ass up. And so like he full on spazzes and kick him out because he talked about his younger brother, who I thought was his son for the longest time. I had to rewatch that. But basically it was like his brother's gonna grow up to be just like him, nothing but a drug dealer. He snapped. He knows what he's doing is wrong, but this is the only way he knew how to get it. Mm-hmm. And for him, it's like, I'm not going to say white people don't, but for some reason, in the black community, we take more offense, or we take greater praise in protecting our, children. Not even our children. Everybody's going to protect their children. Little cousins, brothers.
The youth.
Yeah, they take more pride in them trying to be stuff, taking their study serious, this and that. So when the uncle just was something money-making son, and he choked him out and threw him out, like, bro, you ain't gonna disrespect. He's only like 12, bro. You ain't gonna disrespect my little brother like that nigga can't be shit. Like, y'all gonna see the clips. Shit's iconic. Fuck with all of them. Leonardo Dicaprio, I mean, you've been doing your thing. You ain't gonna finish with one. So, hey, yeah, you working with Kobe Bryant numbers. Ain't no shame in that. That's Kobe Bryant. Easily could have changed this to Leonardo deserved as much as Kobe Bryant. Easily.
Okay. This one's for the community. And by community, I mean our community, Black folk. I think The Wood is the best Black movie of all time.
I forgot that you had this. I don't know why I thought we did it. Really?
Yeah, it's my favorite.
Black movie, or would you say like? I know it's not your favorite movie.
It's my favorite Black coming of age movie. So if we get more specific, because I think Friday's better overall. Like, it's the better movie, but when you get like Friday doesn't have a lot of depth. Like, it has a little bit of conflict and it has funny. The Wood has the coming of age story. It has character development. It has the conflict. It has its funny.
I didn't know you was gonna pick this.
It had. I've had this conversation with plenty of Black people, and every time I'm the odd man out, but I will die on this fucking hill.
Damn.
Like, it's better than Love and Basketball. It has a better love story than that.
Loving Basketball is trash.
Yes. But people put that on the pinnacle of like, oh, this is the best Black love story of the 90s, 80s.
And it'd be Black women saying that. That's why they get treated like shit. That nigga treated Sanae Lathan like shit
Like
the whole
garbage.
movie. But so when I hear people say that's my favorite movie, damn, that's why you enjoy being treated like shit. Sanae Lathan was in this movie too, right? She was the bride, right?
Yeah, she was. Yeah. Yeah, and then like the cast, both the kids cast and the adult cast played their roles perfectly to me, in my opinion. And it was like an all-star Black cast. A whole bunch of all-star Black cast that does not get the praise that it deserves.
Yeah, and this was early in their careers too.
Mm-hmm.
Fun fact before I delve into this, you remember that movie Dope?
Mm-hmm.
It's set in the same universe. It's been confirmed.
Oh, I actually did not know that.
The brother Stacy is the security guard in Juice. And he was like, remember, tell him Stacy did this, or I forgot what it was.
Yeah.
That's that Stacy. Because it's the same director, whoever wrote it or whatever. It's both.
Oh, that's dope.
No, dead ass. Like, I learned that like 6 months ago.
That's cool as fuck. Yeah.
It never dawned.
That's on Quentin Tarantino shit, but better.
It never dawned on me because I remember the scene when the security guard mentioned his name was Stacy. I always thought, no. It was kind of odd they put so much focus on that.
Tell him Stacy sent you.
That's what it was. But I didn't like The Wood that much.
Really?
But so like, what did it for me was the actors actually.
You didn't like the actors?
No, I hated the actors. But I like the story. I think that it's a good movie, but I think if the actors was different, primarily the male ones, it would have been elevated. So I don't know, like in that time period, get Lorenz Tate, Omar Epps. Shit, there's lots of Black niggas in it. I feel like if you swap
It's
them,
4 main Black niggas.
But like I specifically, the actor who plays the groom that was drunk. Mm-hmm. I specifically hate him and everything.
Mm. So yeah, he is my least favorite. He's my least favorite,
and I hated his character the most because I hated his character as a kid. I'm not going to necessarily say the kid wasn't acting it right. God, I hated him, and he's the main. If he was one of the side characters of the 4, I think I would have liked it more.
But he wasn't the main character. The drunk groom is not the main character. That's one of the friends. Like, the main character is the dark skinned.
I need to rewatch it.
Yeah,
and I need to rewatch it
because the best man is the main character. His friend is the one that's getting married.
But is this not the story when the friend like met the girl when they were young?
Yeah, but they reconnect at the wedding.
I may have got the characters backwards.
Uh-huh.
I need to go and rewatch it.
And maybe I remember this movie wrong. Maybe go back and rewatch The Wood. But where can I watch that at? That's what I'm thinking about.
I'm about to look this up. And bro, we need more Black places to watch stuff. Because when I watch Paid in Full again, I probably could have asked my damn mama for the CD. I felt like in 2000s to be black, you needed that bitch on bootleg. But
I think I watched Paid in Full on BET. I don't think we owned it.
I seen so many niggas with the art cover, but like I didn't watch it until I was like 12 or 13 because I thought that bitch was bootleg. It had Cameron on it, which in fact Cameron killed that shit too. But look at Cameron on it. What low budget movie is this? But I fronted the $3 and watched it on Amazon Prime.
Oh.
Thought about fronting the 15 to own it.
Own it.
Nah, bro. I rented it for like 2 weeks for $3.
I only have one movie that I've bought like that, and it's my favorite movie.
What is it?
A Knight's Tale.
I was about to say The Wood.
Nah.
Oh, Omar Epps was in this. I'm bullshitting. But I liked Stacy in it too. Like
Stacey was like he was the villain, but like also like it was he also was the comic relief.
Yeah, bro, it's weird how he was funny too. Like
Get your soft ass in the back. That's my favorite scene.
My favorite scene is right before he's about to fight Stacy as a kid, and it was like, you remember that talk about Crips and Bloods? Yeah. Well, that nigga's a blood. I don't know why. Like, if I rewatched it today, I would die.
It was something powerful about the scene where they got pulled over by the cops and like they're getting harassed by the cops. Now they do have a gun in the car and all the other fun stuff, but like they get pulled out the car and all the other fun stuff, and the nigga that Stacy's riding with fucking folds like a fucking napkin, and they hold up. They good.
In the movie, I was surprised that he was a real thug because I thought he was gonna come out to be like some bitch made nigga. Nah, he was hard. He was
really
hard
robbing.
And it's funny because like it didn't feel forced. I will give it that. It didn't feel forced for him to be in every situation. Boom, you trying to hit on my system, I have to whoop your ass. No, not even trying to hit you. Smack on the ass. I gotta beat your ass. Something they robbed the store didn't feel forced. He went to go steal a condom from his room, and he showed back up with his shorty. It's not forced because he was in his room, so it didn't feel forced. Like, nigga, I came back to my room with my shorty with a condom that I knew I had, but it's missing. Ooh, but I thought I'm not gonna hold you in that part. I thought it was weird. He was gonna smash his sister at his crib when you know about that nigga. Like fucking caught by the parents. That's the last nigga I want to get caught.
Hey, but have you not done some risky shit for some poom poom as a kid?
Going over to the shorty's crib, I considered risky, but everybody had to be go. Like unless he had like a little brother, or I did smash this one shorty who had a bigger brother who I knew I could beat his ass. And so he never had problems with me. He never had problems with me.
I don't know. I've done some risky stuff for some coochie.
Yeah,
especially when your hormones is going, and it could be possibly your first time.
I'm about to say that was his first time. I think my first time I was reckless. Reckless as
when you have the opportunity, you don't take that shit, bro.
You feel. I don't give a damn, bro. The plane is going down, nose diving, and she said, "This is it. You want to fuck the plane, boy?
Shit,
bro. I'm gonna die of some poom poom, man." Damn, I can't. Oof. We talked about it off camera, not the movie. And I forgot you had this. Damn, The Wood.
The Wood's a good fucking movie.
I'm not saying it's not bad.
And I will say that I like the adult actors less than I like the kid actors.
Okay, so
but they also spend less time on the adult actors to develop them. It's more, the story's more about them being kids and growing up than them being adults and building their lives. You know what I'm saying?
True.
So it's a little bit different dynamic. But yes,
I'm slightly mad, but I can't be mad. I'm slightly mad because it was like, coming of age hood movies. It's not even necessarily hood. It's a hood movie because they're black.
Well, it's a hood movie because they're in Inglewood.
But when you compare it to Menace, Society, you said Friday's the better movie, but I do understand when something's better, but you like something more.
I just think it has more depth in the emotional roller coaster than most hood movies. If that makes sense.
I get you. don't agree with you, but I get you.
Okay.
But I get you. It's this is a good point because you're gonna hate me for this last one.
Oh, God damn it.
My last one is the MCU has proven that most of their movies are trash. If they did not have a huge universe overlapping them shits would flop. Spider-Man movies would have flopped if they were solo, dolo. Doctor Strange movie would have flopped, and I'm talking flop. It's no way in fuck that these numbers are what it is.
You talking about the old one or the new one?
These current ones. If they're by themselves and shit's flop. Do you know how many times I've went there and these are some of the reviews. Movie won't good, but we know it's building to something. Them shits would flop.
Really?
Flop. Shang-Chi would have flopped because niggas don't even know who that is.
Well,
I know
okay.
who he is.
Okay. I don't think Shang-Chi's a good example because Shang-Chi's it was already a B character to begin, maybe even a C character to begin with.
Eternals would have flopped. Like that shit still kind of did flop.
That did flop. I only watched Eternals because I was like, oh, you know, because I was trying to give it the Guardians of the Galaxy, you know, vibe. Like, oh, maybe it's actually going to be good because it's, you know, they take, you know, lesser known characters and make them good.
Makes sense. The only reason Thor got these many movies is because of MCU. They should probably would have gotten a second one to keep it a buck.
Yeah.
It damn sure wouldn't have got a third one.
Yeah.
Like, and when I tell people this, and I'm talking like those Spider-Man franchises with Tobey Maguire, those was one-off movies each time. Did they build from the last one? Of course. I'm not saying they can't build from their own movies. So like Doctor Strange and Doctor Strange 2, yeah. Iron Man 1, 2, and 3, yeah. Captain America, yeah. But like, if they did not have the overarching thing of Avengers, or that you know that, oh, but we're going to have this grandiose movie, Endgame or whatever, to pay it off, them shits flop. And by flop, I mean nowhere near the grossing movie it does. Black Panther probably would have done close to the same. Because people who don't watch Marvel
would have watched
Black Panther.
Yeah.
Them shits flop.
But also, Black Panther was completely separated from the MCU, kind of. Like, the storyline had nothing to do with the MCU at all.
Some people went to go see... The reason to me why the Endgame and Infinity War did so good is because of the Black Panther crowd. They still would have done great, but they got a whole crowd of people who did not watch MCU movies to show up because, oh, I already watched Black Panther. Might as well watch, because Infinity War came out straight after. It was the next movie out. And so, like, it was good marketing material. I don't think they'll ever come out and actually say it. But I know, like, I can tell by looking at the numbers that Black Panther's success and Infinity War would have done good, but like, isn't it the highest grossing movie ever?
No, it's the highest grossing. It was the highest grossing comic book movie because Endgame I think Endgame took the throne from Black Panther, and it was the highest grossing something. But like, I think since then it has been dethroned. But for like it did take the throne for a while, yeah.
And I think like that is directly from. I know it's directly from Black Panther because what facts do you have? Captain America Civil War movie was it came after, but like Captain America movies was pretty decent.
But I watched the Civil War movie. Because that's the first movie Black Panther was introduced.
I didn't even know he was going to be in there, but it captivated me more. Than
I did. That's all. They did because when they released it, they did the suit and his claws like clawing across the wall or something like that.
Yeah,
and I was the first like hint like, oh, he's going to be fucking in this movie.
Oh, I was about to say my because a kickback would be no, we watched it because all the Avengers are in there. Why didn't Age of Ultron do so well there? It did okay. Why did Age of Ultron break records? Why wasn't it so big?
It was not the movie.
Didn't know that beforehand. All the heroes was in there.
But also all the movies leading up to it weren't as hype.
It possibly could be too.
But they weren't on it. Like like leading into Black Panther, leading into Black Panther, they were kind of on a win streak. Guardians of the Galaxy, Ragnarok, Black Panther. I think that's how they released in that order.
Yeah.
So they were on a fucking win streak, and then to top that win streak off, Infinity War Endgame.
And it was cherry on top of the sundae. And this is me talking. I've internalized all of your DCU stuff, primarily Batman slander. None of them niggas can fuck with Batman individually. You have a hope for Endgame and Infinity War, but they can't come as a package combo. It's one or the other. They can't fuck with this Robin Pattinson one. Single-handedly, yes. The Dark Knight ain't fucking with it. But when you say, oh, Endgame, Infinity War, Civil War, you gotta beat. There's one Batman. You gotta beat. There are multiple good.
Okay. Whoa.
Even the main point of Infinity War,
even
Endgame,
the Spider-Man movies were better than
Spider-Man.
the newer ones.
And
They were actually good.
And most of those movies have everything to do with the MCU. The whole third movie had to bring a whole bunch of bullshit back. The first movie needed a whole bunch of shit to do with the MCU. Congratulations. The second movie is the only one where Tom Holland stands on his 2 feet. And you didn't even watch it because I didn't watch it either.
I watched the second one.
It took you forever to watch that shit.
Well, it's because I wasn't able to stream them. And then they finally were on HBO Max, or I don't know. I was actually able to watch them eventually. I was like, oh, they actually are good. I didn't go watch them because I can't remember why I didn't watch the first one. I think I was waiting. I think Demaria was not here. She wanted to watch it, and then by the time she got here, it was not in the movies anymore.
Because we watched Infinity War together.
Mm-hmm.
I think I fell asleep through that. I didn't fall asleep. I think I fell asleep for the first 5 to 10 minutes. Nigga was hurt. I'm always hurt when we go watch movies. I did the same thing for the Dragon Ball Super. I'll be hurt.
And I thought about waking up doing the Dragon Ball Super movie. I was like, nah, he needs this rest.
Yeah, bro, these trailers be burning my dumb ass. Bitch, get dark and cold. I figured out cold is my weakness.
Nigga, wear a hoodie. Bring a blanket.
Because yesterday watching football Saturday. One, I still was pretty hungover from Saturday on Sunday. Bro, that cold air was. I was wearing a hoodie. Yes, bro, I could not stay up through any game. Like, I fell asleep through a quarter for each game we watched. The 1 o'clock, the 3 or 4 o'clock, 8 o'clock. Like, bro, I just could not stay. And I'm talking like, it was actually scaring me that I couldn't stay up.
You're old. You're old.
Because I was fighting it too. Like, I didn't stay asleep long each time.
It was like, well,
Yeah. But a whole quarter is like 30, 40 minutes. Damn, third already? Nigga went to sleep in the second. Damn. Plus halftime. But, yep, that's what I stand. And even more, when people bring up Infinity War and Endgame and stuff like that, that makes my point more. Because there are a whole bunch of niggas put together trying to fuck with this one nigga that plays around in a bat suit with mental problems. Like, like all the little critiques, all the little whatever. It's what meme is it that it takes all this to match our power? Like, they did all this for me. Like, DCAU is trash as fuck. EU is trash as fuck. I'm not saying DC makes great movies. I'm just saying Marvel's even better just because DCEU is trash. That's what really caps it off.
I will say that Marvel doesn't have any competition. They have competition, but it's not real competition.
And when your competition sucks so badly, it puts you on a little
put you on a pedestal. And I do think, especially as of recently, they haven't made a bad Batman movie. I'll give you that. There hasn't been a bad Batman movie since Batman Begins.
And on my flip side, most of the standalone here, and most people are saying it's the phase that we're in. And it keeps excuses keep getting built. An Iron Man's movie sucked at the beginning. The Captain America movies are probably one of the best standalone, but he still had people in it. Like Civil War was a whole bunch of people. The Thor movies, if we're being real, in totality suck. Now, they've gotten it right in the back
They
two.
figured it out. Yeah.
But the back two aren't all-time greats to cancel out the all-time worst.
Yeah. Well, and everybody agrees that the Thor movies are the worst. Yes. The first 3 Thor movies are bad. It's the first 2? No, 3.
Yeah.
Dark of the World.
First 2 is bad because it's Thor, Dark World, and the third one is when he started being funny again. Ragnarok.
Oh, Ragnarok. So first 2. Yeah. Stop being so serious about the movies.
Yeah. People don't even include the Hulk that's actually part of the MCU.
It's like unofficially, officially. That's one of those things.
Doctor Strange, for real, isn't that great.
But it was a pretty solid movie.
It's pretty solid, and I'm okay with that. My main thing is when people talk about the MCU, they make their movies like they're the greatest achievements to comic books. They're not. Their big movies are amazing comic book. They're solid. Well, what's by solid? They're like X-Men in the 2000 movies. X-Men movies were solid. I'm not saying they're as good. X-Men movies were solid to me. They were passable.
Yeah, but compared to MCU movies now, they are not in the same. They are not in the same boat.
They didn't know what they were doing, but maybe because the reason why I hate Disney as a whole, and I know it's not necessarily the comic book. I hate when stuff is predictable. Like if it's just we're gonna do this, have a good time, we're gonna wrap up at the end. Why are we giving high marks to the same continuous? Would you play the same game over and over again, but with different?
I mean, we do it Call of Duty every year.
And shit, me and you haven't bought the new one in a minute.
Yeah, but that new MW2 looks pretty solid.
I got the beta.
Is it good? I haven't played it yet.
It's okay. They restricted a lot of stuff. And that makes me think, do I really like it? Or is it just okay? But it's pretty decent. But that's my take. But maybe I'm biased. People know that I call comic book movies the weakest adaptations of comics. By far. Comics, video games, animated series are all better.
Video games are
sometimes. But when they're on,
yeah, they be on where they're on.
They're on. Because they can tell different stories. They can tell the real stories. They can tell stories that can fuck you up, that can end a certain way and I guess that's my gripe with all the EUs. Like, what makes people why comic books blew up and why people love them, because it didn't end well every single time. Like, it kept you guessing. It was new stuff. Like, not every plot point was, boom, here comes Galactus. Well, no, let's build up. Oh, they beat Thanos. Boom, kumbaya. Oh, then the Silver Surfer, they knocked them off, but he went back to Galactus. Then we knocked Galactus off. Oh, kumbaya, nobody died. We dapping up. We this. It wasn't that. Like, they're even in the minor plot points, sometimes they got knocked off or lost this or that.
But they had people die though. They killed them off at the end of their contracts.
I was about to say the only one that was not contractually obligated thing was the May in the new Spider-Man one. I will give that, because I did not know she was going to die. Damn, they did. I knew that he was going to save her after all that, but she was going to be in the ICU and all fucked up. She just barely made it. She got a few crack what?
No,
damn, she died. That nigga did that shit.
But that's also what made that movie so good. So that's what made that movie good.
That's my point. Like, it's stuff like that does. If he saved her and she fully recovered, great.
Even if she recovered, but she was never the same again. She was in a wheelchair or some shit like that.
Possibly.
It would water it down a little bit, but it would still have some gravitas to the what's it called?
To the situation. Yeah. And so, like, it is small stuff like that. Even though we knew beforehand his contract was up, like the snap. And I guess my main thing is people go to moments that's the saddest or whatever, that being the best. Yes, that's what comics supposed to be. Like, that's
supposed to have a lot of more gray areas, and you're not supposed to feel good at the end of this. We won, but we lost a lot in the process.
We finally beat Thanos, but it was at a loss. I guess somebody would be like, what else did you expect from the war? More heroes to die. That's what a real war is. Seeing your comrades get knocked off. Imagine this. You seeing your comrades get slaughtered is a bad word because it means they're all getting knocked off. You seen some of your comrades fall. Some sacrifice themselves so y'all to keep fighting. And then at the end, like this is what Iron Man is going through when he has the gauntlet. He sees all of them and he knows. I guess it's good enough to know that he did it for his friends and his family. But seeing all this and is like, I'm putting an end here. You've already hurt too many of my friends. Ooh.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, he already saw his friends get knocked off.
Which ones?
T'Challa got knocked off.
Oh, you mean when they got snapped away?
When they got snapped away, for all to the purposes, they are dead.
And that, bro, that's why I enjoyed the battle itself was great. But I enjoyed the real world scenes when they were snapped away because like it was showing real shit of like that nigga Tony moved on. So you want me to go out there and possibly die trying to get stuff that we possibly can't use back when we could just accept it and move on? That sounds so selfish, but it's like, this plan could have went backwards. If that nigga didn't start gardening, he easily could have, wiped us out. And us getting wiped out wouldn't have changed the fact that they're gone. So, like, I'm not saying that their highs ain't great. Like, I guess that's my main thing. Their highs are amazing. But let's not act like their lows or their mid it's elevated more than what it is. It's low and mid. I'm still going to watch it. But it's like, I dare anybody to go see something and not say, it's all right. I know it's building to something. If you have to say that, the movie was not good. It's just, did you watch Training Day thinking it was going to be a second one? Because the movie won't, and we know it's going to be a second one. It's building to something.
That's a good point. I can't even think of it's a little bit different because it's not inside of a universe. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not in a...
True.
But that's a good point. I fucking hate you, dude. I want you to know that.
This has been built. I felt this way after Endgame because I went back to go watch the movies that I missed. Mm-hmm. Regret watching them.
It sold it for you. I watched them all to begin with.
I think that's the difference. People who would go against me would be like something. Bro, I seen it. Then you seen it. And we grew up in the era. Well, I guess most people who's watching this did. But we specifically remember being nerds when, this shit wasn't a thing. It wasn't a thing to have a franchise. You were lucky to get 3 movies off that shit. You feel me? You were lucky to get that, let alone whatever the fuck the X-Men were doing. The only reason they got by...
They got a whole bunch of movies. They got 5 or 6 movies.
The only reason they got by because they weren't numbered. If niggas would have figured out what movie they were on, they would have been stopped at 3 or 4. Mm-hmm. But because they didn't have numbers in that shit. Oh, damn, this is a spinoff? No, it's the same thing. It's in the same family.
No, actually, X-Men has
7 or 8.
7 or 8 because they went back in time and did the prequel and then they did movies where they go back in time and change the timeline and that's actually a lot of movies.
So yeah, when we saw it grow, so that's why I think some people are disengaged with how good they really are because they were good for the time. The Iron Man movie was a great movie in 2008. And it was great. You didn't see the flaws of, oh yeah, this ain't really that good. Because we were just happy to see that thing on screen.
I just think we remember watching Iron Man 2 as a school field trip.
Even if, I remember being kind of let down by some of them, but still happy to watch. But boom, when you seen it build, and the Captain America one is a huge step up from the Iron Man. Just the first movie, it's oh, shit, this is really real. Even though I don't even really like Captain America, the movie was that solid. And Thor kind of brought it down, but it's still damn, they introduced Thor. They got this, they got their own movies. Then when you see the Avengers, this was unheard of on the big screen. That all these movies actually had something in common to bring you to boom. So that's why I think some people get disengaged with it at. If you go back and watch through every movie, which some people do, but not most people do, you're lying to yourself if you said,
all of them were amazing movies.
Yeah.
I'll accept that. I think they all were at least decent to good.
And I feel like in their time period, some were great. But since we're removed and this starts an argument. Should I give it credit for being good then was only really good because it portrayed the niggas. Well, what they were going against wasn't really too much. I'm glad that we got an Iron Man that looked like the nigga. Like that's all I was hoping
Our
for.
Iron Man looks so much like Iron Man that they had to change it with the Iron Man look like.
Bro, and it's hard to Google what the old one looks like because he's just like, yeah. I feel like they can get better, which, that's I'm one of the people in the huge minority. It can get better. It can get way better. Like the off movies that aren't the main movies can be way better. But, we'll see. Maybe my opinions will change in 2 or 3 years, a different phase, a different this or that. But, yep, that's where I'm at.
Okay. Well, on that note.
Do you have controversial movie opinions? How did you feel about ours? Just let us know in the comments.
Yeah, if you have some blasphemies topics that you want to talk about, anime, music, hip hop, black culture stuff, let us know, and we'll put together a list. We have a lot of hot takes.
That's what we do best: talk shit about shit. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll catch y'all next time.
We out.